much for giving up some time this morning. I'd like to ask you a few questions linked to the Learning Futures project. I know I spoke to several of you just after Christmas when we first started, so this in a way is a kind of progress report to see how things have been going for you. So but before we do that, perhaps we can just introduce ourselves. I'm Dave. And
I'm Nisha. I'm Con.
I'm Amy.
Lovely, thank you. Okay, so the first question is, how do you feel about online learning now compared with when you started this part of your course after Christmas?
I think it's different to what we expected. There's a variety of issues because we're used to more paper-based materials given to us. It is hard to transfer your ways of working to go online. So at stages it can be frustrating because you're too used to doing another system. But once you're in the mindset, I think it's a good idea.
I think it's I think the whole idea and the whole concept of it is pretty good. I think it's a nice idea, and it would work if it had been planned better and I think talked about more, because sometimes obviously certain apps and other bits like that just don't work, and it frustrates students, and sometimes even just doing work on paper or learning off paper is a lot easier than obviously messing about with the apps and things.
Okay.
I think the enthusiasm started really high with it at first, and slowly as it's got on, everyone's got more and more frustrated with it, and it's kind of slowly deteriorated. But I think it's got quite confusing where we're all trying out so many different apps. It's like some of it works on Shobi, some of it works on Blend-Space. It's kind of all over the place, so it's a bit confusing as to where all our work's stored.
I think it was a good idea, like Cornwall said, and it did start off really good, but then I know for me there was a lot of technical issues. I did lose some work where things weren't saving and apps were crashing, and I think that if that had been planned better, then it would have worked.
Okay. So, in a sense, I can almost predict the answer to this one. What do you prefer, online lectures or classroom lectures?
Classroom.
A mix of both, I think.
I think some of the online lectures would be better, like Charlotte's current unit. She's used a lot of her teaching has been through videos on Blend-Space. It's been really nice that we can go home and kind of access them. But I think it would work quite well if we have lectures in the classroom, but maybe if they're filmed and put online, so we've got access to them later as well. So we've kind of got a mix of both. I think that would work a lot better.
It's just if you have obviously if you're watching a video and you have a question, then you can't exactly ask a question. And to a video, that's the only problem that I find with them. And if someone like me who needs to understand it fully before they start working, then yeah, I think video is a bit of a problem. I think classroom as well.
I like a bit of both because when you've got the online, you can always refer to it, but when I'm in class, you feel like you're not on your own. You've got people that support you, but if you're on your own learning something away from the teacher, and you've got an issue, you're stuck, and you have to wait for you can send them an email, text, or whatever, but you have to wait for that reply. That stops your learning if you're confused.
Okay. Again, the next question was going to be why do you prefer this choice, but I think we've all answered that in some form or other. So how easy is it to access online resources that are being used for your course?
I haven't had an issue with it. I've got on well with Blend-Space and Shobi, so I think there were good softwares that were used.
I didn't end up getting into the Blend-Space and all these sort of apps like that, because I found I'd rather just quickly go on with the work, and that's why I've gone back to the old way. So I've just been writing the work in a Word document rather than looking up. But I think obviously if it works, then yeah, it'd be good and easy to access.
I think the access has worked. I think it's been really good the way that we've always had access. Like with me, I was always losing my paper copies of the tasks, whereas now it's always on there. But the problem is at the moment they've not got the internet just right. It's quite a lot of the time the internet's not working, so you can't access, if the internet's not working, you can't access the work. So you have to find another copy of it. And for me at home, my internet's not too good at home, so when I'm at home, I have to go out, download the copy, and then come back to do my work at home because there's no internet access to kind of get the copies at home.
Oh, right, okay, that's interesting.
I think the apps are good. I think Shobi's a really good idea because we can access all of our work from home if you've got the connection with it. And I think it's a good way to upload it as well.
Okay, thank you. So what do you think overall about the resources that are being used to deliver online learning? You've mentioned Shobi, you've mentioned Blend-Space. Have they generally?
Yeah, I think Shobi's. I like Shobi, definitely, because I think it's easy to access the actual task and because everything's on there. It's a lot easier. I think that's the one thing I do like that and also.
I think prefer Shobi to everything else. Blend-Space kind of works. I think if we have longer to get used to it, because we've only just started using it, we're so close to the end of the course now. Whereas if we had started using it earlier, I think that would have been one I would personally have got along better with. But Shobi, I think, has worked really well in the fact that you can see it says submitted, it says uploaded. You can kind of click on your tasks and see where you're at, which kind of helps a lot.
It's good because they're all sectioned out as well, so there's different folders for different lessons, and you know that all the work's going to be on there.
Okay, good. Thinking a bit more for the future in a way, but how well do you think online learning will help or hinder your employment prospects?
I think it will help because the world is growing into more of a technological bubble, and using technology to do work, it will help when you go into the working world if the company's very technical and you know backgrounds of software, backgrounds of technology, and it'll help you just that one little bit and one step further than other people who haven't used technology to do work on.
I think knowing how to use a certain app or just knowing technology generally, I think it's definitely helpful going into the workplace.
I think it's good. I think it will help, like the others said, but I do think it's going to kind of hinder it in the fact that there's no backup on it. If you lose it, it's gone. Whereas before you had paper, it's there. You could copy it, you could do that sort of stuff. But at the moment, if we lose the app, that's all your work gone. You've lost it all. So I think relying on that solely isn't there needs to be a bit more of a solution for it. So.
I think it's good to have the basic skills taken into the workplace and you can share it with your co-workers and develop it more.
Okay, last question then. So are there any other comments that you'd like to make now about the way the course has been delivered since Christmas?
I'd like to add that it is early days for this course, for the technology. The Wi-Fi in the college isn't the best for all of it because it is slow, it does keep cutting out, especially in the mornings for some reason. And it needs more planning and more way of using it in a technical, strategic way, so it doesn't feel like you're being pushed with e-learning, but it's there, but it's not being forced into your face type thing. It just slides in as a backup, or not backup, but as a way it's there, but it's not in your face e-learning.
I think obviously it is good, but I think teachers need to start obviously make themselves aware of how to use the technology as well, because I find organisation with some tutors and things like that is a problem, because obviously work being lost and obviously submitting work online and then they don't receive it or they don't understand how to get it up or mark it. I think that has happened to me a few times with some of the tutors in school. So I'll just say that, just be more plan more, just understand the actual technology that you're using.
I think as a tool it's really worked out. I've been really impressed by how it's helped with having the iPads having work with us at all times. But I do think once they obviously start developing more, it's going to be more of a useful tool. And I think if all the tutors were to pick one software and all use that one software, it would make things a lot easier. But with regards to tracking our work was a lot easier on the laptops because it was on a grid. So now if we want to track where we're up to with our work, we have to get on the laptop and get it up. So if they can find some way of tracking our work on the iPad as well, that would really help.
I think overall it's a good idea, but I think at the beginning, as we got the iPads, I think the teachers got them as well, and they were kind of learning with us how to use it. So it took a while for it to actually get going and for them to understand it before they could teach us how to use it.
So I was saying I do find myself still using a laptop sometimes to do some pieces of work, because it is sometimes easy.
Because, just to clarify, excuse me, as a group you've also been using iPads, and that was a new experience for you this time round, so it's also been about using a different device as well. Okay. Right, has anybody got anything else they want to add at all?
No.